Hello everybody. Today what I'd like to talk to you about is the importance of networking and how networking could or should be integrated more into the educational environment. Now, colleges have made a significant shift towards the function of an HR or resource career center. And as part of that, they've undertaken the mission to prepare students more for jobs. Now, I won't say that they've done more in terms of adding specific job-related skill sets because that's so specific to the individual jobs. But what they've undertaken is the effort to give students more interaction with employers, to network with them, to establish the initial relationship that can lead to internships, that can lead to employment, and thus the transition from education to the work environment is complete. So my question is this: if higher education institutions primarily are shifting towards this human resources function, which we've talked about in other video series, how can that function be replicated outside of higher education? Because we've talked before about the idea that much of the information that you get in an educational institution is available anywhere out in the public for free. But the problem is you cannot translate that into the same value that the educational institution offers, primarily because of one, certification of knowledge of that information, and two, the human resource function, that is, bringing employers onto campus, hosting networking and industry nights, having guest speakers come to classrooms and being able to meet them, hosting professional clubs and organization and industry-specific groups, and then having many of the other career-related elements such as assistance with resume writing, assistance with interviewing, things that are traditionally housed in a career center. Well, my thoughts on the matter are this. Generally, it is difficult to replicate all of these outside of the educational environment, but you certainly can. You can join industry or professional organizations. You can join the Chamber of Commerce. You can join Toastmasters. You can join different things that will allow you to network with other people. Now, one egg that has been very difficult to crack for people outside of the college environment has been getting interns. And this is largely due to the way the employment laws are structured. Employers don't want to grant internships to someone who is not in an academic institution because the relationship is generally understood and that it's for a temporary amount of time. While you can have employment the same way, it's different, and you run the risk of the employee qualifying for unemployment benefits at the end of the term and creating other expectations of continued employment. So that's less popular. So that's a difficult thing to replicate outside of the organization, but it's not impossible, particularly if you're willing to take jobs under the assumption that you'll be able to get exposure and train in that position and hopefully ultimately arrive at the position or level of employment that you desire in the organization. Or you can use employment in one organization as a stepping stone for qualifications in another organization. Another aspect that you would want to try to replicate is just being around people who have a similar objective or goal in life. That is, if you're studying business in a business school, everyone who you're around is focused on studying business. Well, if you are able to identify industry or career organizations, you can create the same thing. So my final thoughts on the topic are this. It is difficult to mimic the networking function that is so valuable in the educational institution. But can it be done? Yes, of course. Are there ways that you can do it using systems like LinkedIn to make new connections, professional organizations? Yes, etc. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the topic. If you've got opinions on how you can replicate the networking function outside of the educational institution, please jump down in the comments, jump over on thebusinessprofessor.com and start a discussion. But regardless, I hope to see you around the platform soon. Until then, take care.